Guys, so as you all know that Oprah, the OWN network, came out with a sequel to Dark Girls, which is the light skinned girls version, which is Light Girls documentary. And from the very beginning, before it aired, like Tumblr has been going crazy over this documentary, which is actually how I found out about it, was through Tumblr. And there's two things that no one is really stating about this documentary. Everyone just keeps going on about how my life is harder, or I can't believe they're really doing a documentary for mixed girls, or how their struggles don't compare to dark-skinned girls. But the main thing that no one is, whether dark or light, is talking about is, one, accountability, self-accountability. Two, misogyny. Three, well, just those two things, and you guys know I'm scatterbrained, so I'm just going to try to go as quickly so this video isn't long. One thing that really pisses me off are the dark-skinned women. Even before watching the documentary, went on the attack. And I don't understand, when you actually finally do see the documentary, how you can just be so dismissive to it. One of the things that really caught me about the documentary is when this light-skinned woman, who I think is biracial, talked about every day, middle school or elementary school, a group of dark-skinned black girls, at least 5 of them, whenever she would go to the bathroom, would physically assault her and strip her naked. And it happened so much that a adult person at the school, I don't know if it was the principal, but someone of authority, would always be there ready to give her a jacket to cover her nude body and then send her on a taxi to go home. I don't understand how you as a woman, whether dark or light skinned, can see that and say, oh, I had a harder time. That really broke my heart, that every day she was beat up and then stripped naked, and no one said anything to these girls that she was physically assaulted. That really pisses me off, that if, like, all these black women are like, oh, I had it harder. I, as a dark-skinned person, brown, whatever you want to say it, there's lighting here, I was never stripped naked, and I was never beaten up on a daily basis, and I never had a fear of going to the bathroom of being assaulted. So now, what I don't understand is that those type of girls aren't being accounted for, attacking someone just because you feel like you have the right to attack someone. That needs to be called out. In general, that there are people who really think that they have the right, or that it's okay to jump someone. And the fact that the same girl, well, now she's a grown woman, had to have surgery on her ears because darker skinned girls or black girls would rip her ear hole, would rip her earrings, that it will cause damage to her ear. The second thing I saw in the documentary is when this girl, she was at a club or some event, another girl took out a razor blade and slit her neck. The scarring on this woman's neck is unbelievable. And, oh my God. At this point, I'm saying, fuck it. Like, I don't really give a shit about, like, oh, people used to call me dark skin. Like, I don't understand how you can watch this and then turn and dismiss it. Like, those two stories alone, I was like, what? Can you imagine someone coming up to you and say, oh, you think you're cute, so I'm going to take a razor blade and slash your neck with it? What is so wrong with knowing that you're attractive? I don't understand why light or dark skin should be apologetic for being attractive. Second of all, there was also another part where a mixed girl has a white father and she does not identify as being black. She identifies as being biracial, white and black. What should have been addressed is, why are you black women, black people, so offended with someone who's mixed identifying as mixed? You know when you see a mixed person that they're mixed. So what's the problem with saying, yes, I have a white father and a black mother, ergo I am mixed. Why are you as a black person so offended by that? Like, I think there's so much that needs to be called out, and I don't think it was. I feel like it was like tiptoeing around real issues. Why are you so offended by someone stating what they are, which is mixed? And why automatically when a light-skinned male or female shows up, automatically you feel threatened? Like, the issue's within you. Now, something that I feel both documentaries, Light Skin Girl or Dark Skin Girl, didn't mention is adults. One thing after I reviewed the Dark Skin Girl documentary is I was DM'd a lot by dark skinned girls who remember when they were younger, their lighter skinned cousin or lighter skinned sister would always receive gifts and they were left with nothing. I myself have been through the same thing. I remember Christmas, I was probably around 5 or 6, and I have an older sister who's lighter, and an aunt came, or like a family friend came, with a bag full of gifts, and gave my lighter-skinned sister a dollhouse, you know, with the little light switch where the house actually lit up. She got that toy, and she also got a doll. Do I hate my lighter-skinned sister because she got gifts? No. Should you hate a light-skinned girl because she gets gifts and rewarded for being lighter-skinned? No. Why isn't that adult being called out for doing that to us as little girls? That's where accountability comes from. As an adult, and you see another adult blatantly treating a child differently because they're darker or because they're lighter, why aren't you calling out that adult out? And there's a girl, I think her name is Ivy, Poison Ivy, something like that. She does hair videos on YouTube. She even said that she felt that her grandma treated her different because she was darker skinned. Again, why aren't there adults recognizing what's going on? And even in the documentary Dark Girls, a light-skinned girl and a dark-skinned girl were in the back of a car, and a boy was in the front, and the boy's father said, which one of the girls for you? Which one of the girls is for you? It better not be the mud duck. The fact that a grown black male who's not mentally retarded, who is not challenged mentally at all, refer to a girl, a child, as mud duck is a huge problem. Why aren't black adults calling out other black adults for disrespecting or discriminating against children? And that's something that Raven-Symoné called out in the documentary, but everyone's calling her out because she tanned. Because in the documentary she talked about how she used to tan herself because she thought that would make her look pretty. But no one is calling, like what she said in the documentary is true. Why are children being discriminated against within their own race? And I noticed with the dark girls, you learned that you are less than a lighter-skinned girl because a grown black adult told you or showed you that you are less than that light-skinned girl because you're dark-skinned. So there's no reason for you to hate that light-skinned girl. It's all about those grown black adults, whether your aunt, whether your cousin, or whether your grandparents, they showed you, no, because of your skin tone, you're less than her. But yet you have so much hatred and animosity for that light-skinned girl because a grown black person is the one who showed you and told you that you're less than. Now let's go back to Tumblr. We all remember when Blue Ivy was first born and those pictures of her. She was very fair and had straight black hair. So everyone loved Blue Ivy when she was white. But when Blue Ivy started to become more black, she became a nigger. That's when black people all of a sudden backed away from Blue Ivy because now she looks black. So that says a lot about black people and black adults. You teach black children to hate themselves and that they ain't shit because they're black and because they look black. Because you all loved Blue Ivy when she was white. But now that she's black, she ain't shit. And now the new token child is Kanye West's daughter, West. Because now y'all showing your asses. Because now Wes is exactly what you guys wanted Blue Ivy to be. Because go back and look at those pictures of Blue Ivy. She was white, just like Wes. But all of a sudden, she started to be darker skin now, and she has kinkier hair. Fortunately for Wes, her hair didn't go kinky. She has straight hair. She has the mixed girl hair that you guys, some of you naturals, wish you had. And Wes has the light complexion you wish Blue Ivy had, but no. Blue Ivy is a nigger now. Now y'all don't like her anymore. And y'all rip on Blue Ivy so much that white people even join in on tearing Blue Ivy down. So, go back and look at all those old Tumblr posts about how Blue Ivy was so beautiful and how she had good hair and light skin. And then look at her now and see all the shit that you guys talk about her. How you guys compare her to being a butch lesbian. How you guys compare her to The Weeknd about his nappy hair. You guys ain't shit. Grown black adults ain't shit. For teaching black children, they ain't shit unless they have white DNA. So all you black women who are out here posting how your life is harder and all this other shit, who made your life harder? Was it the light-skinned girl? Was it the mixed girl? Or was it a black woman who came up to you as a child and did not call you a nigger but let you know you ain't shit? So all this hatred, I think the documentary was really good. I think it gave a different perspective on street harassment, because a lot of you black women on YouTube were quick to call out the video of the white woman walking through New York saying, oh, it's fake, it's BS. No. What that woman goes through, a lot of black women go through, but yet you guys have to protect black guys and coddle black guys and not call them out for their BS behavior. There's a girl in the documentary who said she was walking down the street talking on a cell phone, a group of black guys, and they called through a beer bottle at her. And she said, of course, it was a group of black guys. Of course, yes, I agree with her, because black guys are very much known for harassing black women in the street and getting away with it. That video with the white girl being harassed, they didn't allow the black guys to get away with it. And I want you guys to go check out the documentary, Black Women Walking. That documentary is over 5 years old, and they've always been talking about street harassment. But when it happens to black women, y'all sit quietly, coddle the black guys, act like, oh no, he's just a poor black victim. No, black guys are very much guilty of street harassing, are very much sexual harassing black women as they walk. And that mixed girl, she was right. Of course, there was a group of black guys who felt like all black women should stop and pay them attention as they harass them in the street. No, I don't think she should apologize, and I don't think she should feel bad for saying, yes, black guys are harassing black women in the street. Yes, it's true. So all of you who are lying and saying, oh, well, of course, if a black woman's dressed like she's going to a club, no. There are black women who are wearing t-shirt and jeans and are being harassed all day, every day. In fact, I've been in the street walking to a store in broad daylight, jeans and t-shirt, and a black guy trying to grab my vagina as I was walking. The other day, there were 3 girls under the age of 12 in church clothes playing on the sidewalk, and a black guy was driving real slow trying to look back and trying to look at them. Those were children in church clothes. That's a pervert. That's a pedophile. And another thing the documentary I feel should have talked about was fetishizing mixed children and mixed women. The black community is very much guilty of fetishizing mixed children and mixed women, because some of you are so quick to call out white men for saying, ooh, chocolate and all this other stuff, but mum's the word when a black guy does it. Chocolate, you sexy old thing. In fact, I remember when I was talking to a mixed girl in class, a black guy came up to her and said he would eat her pussy. Out of nowhere, he just came up to her, a black guy, that he would eat her pussy because she's so cute. Is that not disrespectful? Is that not fetishizing a mixed person? If you can get on Tumblr and attack white people for fetishizing, you can do the same thing to a black guy. So I like the documentary. It taught me things I didn't even know about. It talks about passing, where people have to make the decision. You're going to either be with the black people and treat it like an N-word, or you could be with the white people and make sure you live in a nice, safe environment. And you know what? If I could choose between being in a nice, safe neighborhood or being in the ghetto, I'm going to be in a safe neighborhood. I like the documentary. It gave a different point of view, and it talked about albinism and how one woman, she was, because she has albinism, she was afraid that her son would be ashamed of her because her brother was ashamed of her as a child. He blatantly said that she was adopted and that he pretty much disclaimed her. And yeah, I like the documentary. I don't want to hear any more dark skinned articles talking about, oh, my life is harder. How many of you were stripped naked? How many of you were afraid to go to the bathroom because a group of black women were going to beat you up? In fact, recently there was a video of a half black, half Puerto Rican girl. Her hair was set on fire by a group of black girls. So the question is, what the fuck are these black girls being raised to believe like it's their right to punch someone in the face if they're pretty? I'm dark skinned, I'm brown, and I remember my first day of elementary school, 5th grade. 3 black girls came up to me and said, yeah, we're going to beat you up after school. So that's one thing I want to say about the documentary. Are dark-skinned brown girls bullies or are they bitches? Because I'm just going to straight up say it. A lot of black women might be bitches. So the question is, are you a bitch or are you just a black bitch? Like, that's what it is. Because I think the Dark Girls documentary, it just showed that a lot of women are bitches. And some happen to be black bitches. That's all it was. To me, the dark girls and the light girls were pretty much a bunch of women who are surrounded by bitches. I don't know, because I'm not light skinned. And a group of bitches came up to me and said they're going to beat me up. So you're either mad because a girl is pretty, whether she's light or dark. And I feel like a lot of women can't handle that. They can't handle being around a girl who's attractive. So that's my thought on the documentary. The moral of the story is, it's not because you're light. It's because you encountered a woman who's a bitch, and she just happened to be black. So, thanks for watching. And by the way, one more thing, I do not care for the men in the documentary. It's no different than when white people talk about racism and discrimination. No, you sit down and be quiet. And I feel the same way with the documentary. The black guys had no point, made no sense for the black guys to be in it. And the guy who made up the documentary, Bill Duke, 2 to 3 years ago, he was trying to promote the documentary. He was trying to find support, like funding for the documentary. And I knew the documentary was going to be bullshit because he said when someone asked him if there was going to be one for men, he said, well, being a dark-skinned man is in style. So I knew the documentary was going to be bullshit because why is it okay for dark-skinned or light-skinned to be in style? So I wish that it wasn't him who made the documentary because he's on some bullshit. And I didn't like for Iyanla Vanzant because when Oprah had that discussion with light and dark-skinned women, she kept making light-skinned jokes and dismissing light-skinned women. So I didn't care for Iyanla to be there either. So I just feel like maybe a better person who doesn't believe that dark skin is in style should have made the documentary. So yeah, that's my thoughts. And yeah, I would think that light-skinned girls should be dismissed. They told their story and I learned from it. And if you didn't learn from it, it's because you're probably a bitch. And you're jealous. You are very much jealous of light-skinned women. Before the documentary came out, the hate was just unbelievable. Like, yeah, that's my thoughts. Thanks for watching.